is a time where you could reach a milestone and an achievement that you feel really proud of. This full moon on February 12th is radical change that you have been looking for or not looking for. Here it comes. I am going to explain all the details about why this moon could bring shocking surprises, revolutionary change, unexpected out of the blue events that ultimately will create positive ripples through our lives that we need and that are helping us evolve and move forward. But in the moment when we have a Uranus square like this, it can feel a bit rattling. It can be unexpected good things coming in quick and strong. I will give a general description in this video for all signs so that you have a sense of what to expect with this full moon cycle. And then I'll get into the sign by sign so that you have a better sense of how this is showing up in your life. Check your rising sign first if you know it. That will be most applicable for the events that could show up in your life. Then your moon or sun sign. And of course, if you just know your sun sign, that will give you some information as well. In today's video, I thought that I would give you a bit of a behind the scenes sneak peek at what I do when I'm creating videos. Because of the intensity of this moon, I want to talk about crystals today. When I'm recording, I usually intentionally pick a couple of crystals that I think are fitting for the recording, and I set them on my lap. When the world around us has mixed vibrations and we want to tune in to a specific vibration. I'm excited to show you these crystal bracelets that I have from my friends at Otter. These ones are the minis. They came in a beautiful box, nice bag to keep them in, and a note that tells you what the stone is all about. $1 from every sale goes to supporting otters in the Monterey Bay area in California. Mine are the rainbow tourmaline, aquamarine, and kunzite. Am I pronouncing that properly? On the card, it describes the intention of the stones, and I really appreciate that they have all of their jewelry laid out by zodiac sign. I think of aquamarine as a very Aquarius stone for some reason. Just the color aquamarine reminds me of Aquarius. But balance and confidence is something that I would specifically like to talk about with the Leo Aquarius axis, where we have this full moon. Leo is an energy of self-expression, creative self-expression, authenticity. Sometimes Leo energy can be boisterous and over the top in the way that it wants to be seen, be heard. Aquarius also is an energy where there is a self-assuredness to Aquarius, and they do not go with the crowd just for the sake of it. They love to individuate and ultimately have a cause for the greater good that is in focus. But they're not going to just go with the flow just for the sake of it. Leo is more about the individual, and Aquarius is still more about the collective and the connection of the individual to the masses. During a full moon like this, we are going to be thinking a lot about topics that have to do with who we are as individuals and how do we fit into the group. How do we maintain a unique self-expression, confidence, and balance while we connect and integrate with more than just ourselves? When we are in true confidence, there is a balanced calmness to that state. We're not trying to prove anything. It is when that our confidence is hurt or injured or wobbling that we either retreat or overexpress. We feel like we have to fight for space, so we push a little harder, or we feel like we don't deserve space, or we're not being allowed space or given space, so we retreat back. Whatever shocking things from a Uranus square manifest around this time, this is an opportunity to find that calm, centered, balanced, confident place within ourselves that allows for the most authentic expression. So yes, we do have a Uranus square to this full moon. It is 1 degree away, which is so close to exact, which adds that much more of a Uranian flair to it. So something unexpected, revolutionary, shocking. This is a Tower card moment. This is when something can crumble and rupture to make room for something better and new. This is a time where something can just come in really quickly and change your perspective, allow for a situation to occur that we can step into a new way of experiencing ourselves. Because we are more on the Leo side of things, this is going to be more about us. This is more about the individual. Which parts of you are you really proud of? Which parts of you make you feel vibrant and bright like the sun? What lights you up? This is what you are going to feel very strongly about protecting. And this is what we have an opportunity to stand out and feel that much more lit up like the sun. And this could be a time to take action. I would wait around the full moon though. The day of the full moon, we have the moon being void, of course, which means that it is changing signs shortly after the full moon is exact. With Pacific Standard Time, the moon will be exactly full at 5:54.58 a.m. So I'm calling this one 5:55. The moon will be void, of course, from 11:12, which is so close to 11:11, all the way up until 5 p.m. The void, of course, moon means that while the moon is changing signs, it is said what we do is not going to manifest into anything into the future. Keeping that in mind, that is certainly a time where you can still do things, but if it's something that you would like to see grow into the future, not during the void, of course. The day of the full moon is a day where you want to just let things happen, and taking action leading up to or after the full moon is a good opportunity. This is a wonderful full moon for intention setting around letting go and releasing. Uranus is going to come in and do what it's going to do anyway. But if there has been something that you have been wanting to break through and you're feeling like things just are not moving, bring that intention to this full moon, and it does have the potential, if it is part of your path. We also have Neptune on the North Node. This is going to be an ongoing conjunction, and there are psychic downloads to be had here. This is an opportunity to take in information and wisdom and get new insights if there ever has been. So if you have time to take in the energy from this full moon, this is a wonderful time to get insights and really focus your intention on whatever releases you're trying to achieve in your life. As always, would love to see you for a one-on-one reading. Check out my link in the description below for that, as well as my new moon and full moon readings for each sign, PDF form for all of 2025, linked in the description below as well. Thank you for being here, watching, liking, commenting below. I love chatting with you here so much. Now let's get into your sign. Hi Capricorn. This is an 8th house full moon for you. This could really have you breaking through some fears around change, around your psyche. This can be sudden reversals and psychological healing that maybe you've been working on for a while, and you reach a point that just bursts open and you feel free from maybe some subconscious material that's been holding you back. It looks like with Uranus in your 5th house sending the square to this moon, that there's something with your children, your fun, your creative self-expression. For you, this is about joy and play and what it means to be you. There's something revolutionary that's changing in this part of your life, and that is what is healing your psyche, your worth. This can be a financial access on the 2nd and the 8th. Actual money could be changing for you. Support from other people, something could be reaching a new level or ending if it's time for that. and what you value is in question. How you nourish your body, how you value your energy, your time, your possessions, what you spend your money on, your assets. These are all in the second house where the sun is. And Uranus is the ruler of your second house, Aquarius. So there is a lot of strong connection here for you, with fifth house being the original domicile of Leo. So you have these double hits of Leo and Aquarius energy in a lot of ways. Jupiter is going direct in your daily routines, sixth house of work, health, service. What this really means is that if you have been trying to heal or work on your health or your routines or get some work done, Jupiter's momentum now is going to help bring that back into your life. When it comes to the ancient way that the sixth house was looked at, and they're back when it comes to slavery energy, the way I like to look at that in modern times is that we still have a slavery connection to service sometimes and work. Having a full moon here means that you could disconnect from that feeling that work and service are something you are tied to, and it becomes more of a choice that brings joy and pleasure. And when you are aligned with your authentic self, then you have more joy and pleasure in your day-to-day life and your routines that can sometimes feel mundane. I do see these energies all going well for you and all coming together quite nicely. The North Node in your third house with Neptune is about communication. It is about potentially for you more intuitive, clairvoyant communication with Neptune there. And in some way, you have fated experiences that are about to happen when it comes to third house matters. Check out the link below for my Pisces North Node video if you haven't seen it already. But as far as this full moon, you have that energy to tap into. You have your intuitive sense that you are moving towards, and that's going to help your communication, your relationships with neighbors, siblings, cousins, close relatives, and your mindset. There could be some tension with home and partnership. Mars is squaring Chiron at the time of this full moon, and that can mean that conflicts could trigger some wounds for Capricorn when it has to do with home and your internal world. I did not talk about that one in the introduction, but it is part of this story, and it is part of what could bring tension first, and then an opportunity to shift your energy, shift our ways of dealing with situations, and shift how we internally respond. That when it comes to Chiron wounds, this is something that we have carried with us for lifetimes. And with the opportunities that we have in this lifetime, with conscious recognition of psychological trauma and how we carry it from the past into our current lives, this is an opportunity to bring that past energetic body into the current world and re-imprinting that we have more personal power now than we ever have. And with the evolution of our consciousness, we have the opportunity to step into something that feels completely different than what our body is defaulting to as far as a reaction. But that does take that conscious choice and the attention and awareness. And I think that's what this moon has a lot of opportunity for you, Capricorn, in the eighth house, that is what the eighth house is all about. So let me know how this is going for you in the comments below. This looks like a wonderful opportunity for transformation, and quite suddenly, and really affecting your values and assets. And if it's not your actual abundance yet, it is your sense of abundance and what is possible in this world. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time. Hi, Aquarius. This is the seventh house full moon for you. This is all about partnerships and your one-on-one relationships. This is ultimately about you and other people, especially people that you have contractual relationships with. How do you meet in the middle with another person, yet keep that authentic Aquarian identity that you have? At the same time, this pride for your partnership, because you have Leo in the 7th house. So there is a level of pride that you want to have about the people in your life. This could be a time when relationships come in or out of your life. With a Uranus square from your 4th house, this is time to roll with whatever shows up. It could be your internal world that is feeling either like you're ready for radical change. Maybe you are creating radical revolutionary change. You are Aquarius and your ruler is Uranus. So this is an opportunity for you to create change in your relationships, but really about how you show up in your relationships. Even though this is the Leo full moon, this Uranus square is your 4th house, and it is igniting a fire inside of you that wants to express in a radical way. And maybe through partnerships. Maybe it's time to express what's really on the inside, things that you don't always show other people. Jupiter is direct in your 5th house, so this gives you extra motivation to self-express, and your creativity is more likely to expand and feel full at this time, or feel healed. The Mars square is happening in your 6th house to Chiron in your 3rd. This looks like communication could feel a bit sensitive when it comes to work and your daily routines. If you are in the role of writing or media creation, you could feel sensitive about your work. You could just feel sensitive about your communication and being misunderstood. This is a time when you are feeling really passionate about work, but you might be going over some old frustrations, and that's triggering some communication wounds or mishaps. Mars is going to go direct at the end of the month, and that will bring you more momentum in whatever is feeling maybe frustrating with work. You do have Jupiter forward now, though, so if you are in creative work, and whether you are or not, you're going to be feeling more solid in being received for who you are in relationships and at work. If you have been dealing with inflammatory health stuff with Mars retrograde in your 6th house, that's another possibility. The end of the month, you will find more resolution, but this, again, with Jupiter going direct, is an opportunity to start that forward healing momentum. For right now, though, this is about relationships. You have Neptune in your 2nd house with the North Node. And so with relationships, there is going to be an activation of your 2nd and 8th house. That has to do with your self-worth, your value, your assets. These are financial houses, whether it's your resources or another person's. But this is closely intertwined to the energy of this full moon, where when it comes to balancing self and other and how we navigate the world, value and assets often come into that conversation. This is an opportunity for you to get really clear on the energetic connection to your value. And if there is a tendency to create illusion or dissociate, which Neptune and Pisces are known for, this is an opportunity to look at that and see how, again, we use protective mechanisms like illusion and dissociation, whether it's in good or destructive ways. These are protective mechanisms to disconnect us from some of the pain we feel with reality and the situations that are unfolding in front of us. This is a moon that really gets clear on where we might be distorting images and experiences to work in our favor, and where we want to just be brave like a Leo and face things head on, even though we are sometimes imperfect, and it's to show our flaws and to admit that we have things that hurt us so much. But when we move through it, it creates a liberation for that authentic expression that as an Aquarius, you really live for. And it's going to add so much more vitality to your life when you feel like you can just be you. and not face any friction or conflicts along the way, or minimal. Or if you do, you just won't care that much. That could be a potential too. Aquarius, I hope this moon goes really well for you. Thank you so much for being here, liking, subscribing, the notification bell if you want to see when videos like this are released, and the comments below. I love chatting with you there. I'm also available for one-on-one Zoom readings if you would like some insight into your personal chart. I will link that in the description below. I'll see you next time. Hi, Pisces. This is a 6th house full moon for you. So this is an opportunity to have a breakthrough with work, with routine, your health. What really makes you shine? What really makes you light up like the sun? And what makes you feel proud? What makes you feel proud of the work you do and the service that you provide in this world? Those are the things to keep in mind during this full moon. If something in your work or daily routine does not make you proud and does not make you feel lit up and authentically you, then it's going to be time for some shifting. Pisces, you could get unexpected news that creates this shift for you. With Uranus in the 3rd house, this is media, short distance travel, unexpected things with vehicles on a more practical expression of the energy. But this is the house of news, writing. This is where you could see something in media that has a big impact on your work and daily routine. The sun is on the other side of your 6th house, in your 12th house, and this axis of 6th and 12th house has to do with rest and work. This has to do with creativity and connection to energetic realms, using your intuition and applying that to work. This is also a place that is away from the world, away from the day-to-day grind, and considered a place of rest before we transform and have a metamorphosis into the next cycle, starting with Aries. So topics of rest and work and health and retreat and isolation, those will be all coming to surface around the time of this full moon. You have Jupiter direct in your 4th house. This means that your inner world is feeling stronger, more expansive. Things with your actual home can be going better. So if you've been looking for improvements there, that certainly is a good influence around this time. It's good to feel protected in our home life, which is what Jupiter does, and in your inner world. And that is a wonderful place to improve health and work and routine, as well as give yourself adequate and appropriate rest. As usual, and heightened during this time, North Node in your sign is activating Neptune, and this could bring more psychic, clairvoyant, intuitive sensitivities to your life. You could have some fated experiences happen with you and your body. There is going to be a lot more on that with the eclipse videos, and the next new moon is in Pisces, so you are going to get a lot of focus. Your sign is going to get a lot of focus in the next month and a half to come. So if this full moon has to do with rest for you, take it. Take this opportunity to take a break, because there is a lot of fated activity coming your way, Pisces, and you're going to want to feel prepared for some of those winds of change. Well, with the Uranus square to your 6th and 12th house, that certainly could start now, and we are technically in the eclipse zone now. So the eclipse energy starting on March 14th has a 1 month before and a 1 month after of space that it affects. There's another little aspect that I want to mention, and that is Mars squaring Chiron. This is happening in your 5th house and your 2nd house. So your 5th house of creative self-expression and being authentically you, the things that you are proud of, the things that bring you fun and joy and hobbies, children if you have them. This is where we play, which is when we are being authentically ourselves. Mars here has been retrograde, and that means that you could have been facing some emotional frustrations around feeling like you could be yourself, and that might have to do with self-worth or assets in some way, which is covered in the second house. Chiron here speaks to a wound in the second house that you are carrying forward, and this is a moment that of healing for that. It could be from past lives. It is usually a wound that we carry from past lives for quite some time, and it's deep, and this has to do with worth and energy for you Pisces. The themes have been a lot around energy leakage and seepage. It looks like a lot of the smaller transits that are happening, the big picture is about creating a stronger capsule for Pisces energy so that you can continue to do the expansive energetic work that you do, yet from a contained, safe space where you're not getting as drained by the circumstances around you and the people around you. If you are feeling wound activation at this time, keep that in mind, that there is value to you keeping your energy for yourself and helping others in a way that doesn't drain too much out of you. Or just getting through doing your day-to-day life and work, since this is a sixth house full moon. Does your work drain too much out of you? And what can you apply to your day-to-day activities? And what can you apply to your daily routines, daily activities, workplace? This covers employees if you have them. Which tools can be implemented that help create structure for energy leaks, especially if this is relating to your money, your assets, and your self-worth, or just giving too much of yourself. I wanted to really go over those details because they keep pointing, they just seem really important when I see it in a chart presented in lots of different ways, and it's all pointing to one overarching theme. This is an opportunity to create more balance in work and rest, but it comes from changing the routine a bit and knowing that it's in your full right to conserve your energy and conserve your assets and make those choices for you, Pisces. Thank you so much for being here, for liking, watching, subscribing, chatting with me in the comments below. It is so much fun. And if you would like a one-on-one Zoom reading with me, I will link that in the description below, as well as my 2025 planners, which are new moon and full moon readings for the year ahead. I'll see you next time.
Hi Aries. This is the 5th house full moon for you, and Uranus is in your 2nd house, squaring the 5th and the 11th. This is a time where what you value could go through some radical change. The 2nd house can represent your assets, your money, what you value, your self-worth, possessions. This is also an area that represents the food that you ingest. When it comes to the 5th and 11th house, we're talking about how you have fun, what you love, what is play for you, and how your networks and friends balance that in your life between fun and the connections that you have outside in the world. These connections can be friends, communities, greater communities that you're a part of. Not your closest best friends, but the groups that you participate in, as well as community networks through yoga or work networks. There could be some misunderstandings coming from these communities, and this is part of what creates an opportunity for you to question what really matters to you and what ultimately brings you fun. The 5th house can have to do with children. On a physical realm, this could be unexpected financial needs from a child. Maybe there are groups that they're a part of need some extra fees. You have Venus in your sign, and Venus rules money. So I think that bodes well for you, even though Aries is not the favorite place for Venus. She is slowing down. But if this has to do with financial or love. Venus is bringing a bit of a redo opportunity where we get to go back over some energies of what we value when it comes to money and relationships and pleasure. So there's a lot of overlapping topics for you with Venus and how this moon is showing up in your 5th and 11th house. Especially potent for you because Venus is doing its retrograde in your sign. And if you haven't seen this one yet, my Venus retrograde video is linked in the description below, and that will give you a sense of what you can expect for that story. With this video for this full moon, expect the unexpected when it comes to letting what you value change, and it is going to help you have more fun ultimately and better connections with your networks. The 11th house is where Pluto is transiting, and this is not a highly activated Pluto time, but it is still always going to be there, that friendships are going through revolutionary change, maybe some purging to get the right connections, and this moon could be a part of that overall story. Mercury is close to the sun. When Mercury is exactly conjunct the sun, this is a moment of beneficial mercurial energy and communication. But when Mercury is close to the sun, it can burn up the mercurial qualities. So even though there may be some challenging communication that happens with networks, you have Jupiter in your 3rd house that is helping bless this sector of your life, which is communication, short distance travel, transportation, siblings, cousins, relatives, close family members, people that are in close proximity to you. Jupiter here gives me the impression that there is healing to be had with communication. This is a wonderful time to do writing and get media projects out there if that is a part of what you do. This full moon is lighting up networks and connections. So if you are branching out for business connections and contacts, this is a time where you could have some unexpected good thing come your way, and maybe suddenly out of the blue change what you value and your money and your possessions in some way. But with Uranus, we cannot predict at all. Lots of astrologers say, Nadia Shah especially has said this one, whatever you think might happen with Uranus, you can cross that off the list of what actually is going to show up. I personally like a good surprise. Let me know how this one is going for you, Aries. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Thank you for being here, liking, subscribing, and if you would like to book a reading with me or get a PDF for all the new and full moons of the year for your sign, those are also linked in the description below. I'll see you next time. Hi, Taurus. This is a 4th house full moon for you. So it is accentuating the 4th house of home and the 10th house at the top of your chart of your public image, career, visibility, how you're recognized by society. Uranus is squaring from your 1st house. So Taurus, you have had Uranus in your sign since 2018, and it is going to jump back and forth between Taurus and Gemini in 2026. So we're going to have a taste of that even now in 2025. But you are wrapping up this experience, a long journey with Uranus. And Uranus has the ability to really tear down old parts of yourself and make room for something new. This is a type of change that a fixed sign like Taurus doesn't always appreciate. This is also an energy that can open up energetic nervous system sensitivity, the space for intuition to build and grow and go through big transformation. With Uranus in your 1st house is quite high. Many of you could be feeling like you have experienced psychic changes and your nervous system feels completely different. This is going to be a moment where you're reaching a new level when it comes to your inner world and what you show the public. What goes on in your home life? What goes on the inside? And is that a representation in the public? there's going to be a balancing of the two. Your career could go through changes. Maybe you are working from home. Maybe working from home is coming to an end and you're being more out in the public eye. It's going to be different for everyone and all Tauruses out there, but there is a piece of this moon that has to do with bigger revolutionary changes that you are going through. And Aquarius rules your 10th house, where the sun currently is, where Pluto is journeying. So this Aquarius part of your chart has bigger themes going on. This isn't just this full moon, but it is a piece of a process that is a much bigger journey with your status, your reputation, and how you express your uniqueness to the world. There is an element of safety in the sign of Taurus. Stability, safety. It is a fixed sign, and that creates a feeling of stability in the way that it does not fluctuate. And that is a quality that Tauruses will really align with. But energy like this is asking for something radically different. It is asking for quick change and more of an air-like quality when it comes to Aquarius energy. But Aquarius is also the inventor and the connector of all things. In work and career, you could have an opportunity to be innovative, and this could be a moment where something from inside of you gets birthed into a bigger project. This could be a moment where any limitations or blockages from your inner world, from the family that you were raised, from your ancestors, those could dissolve and make room for more connection to ideas and exciting change. You have fated activation in the 11th house right now, which is this classic position for Aquarius. It is networks, connections, the internet, the World Wide Web, as they say, but that's the connectivity part. So communities that you're a part of. And this is going through fated changes with the North Node here, and at this time of this moon connecting with Neptune. There could be some fated losses and transformation when it comes to these networks, or gains. If there are gains, there are going to be people perhaps of more Neptunian qualities that are creative and dreamlike and ethereal. If you would like more information on this transit, check out my North Node in Pisces video. I will link it in the description below. But just keep in mind that while all this other energy is going on, friends and networks changing could be a big part of what is unfolding. At the moment, you have Venus in your 12th house in Aries. That is a place where beauty, money, things can dissipate. There could be a sense of loss or restriction, or if you are traveling to faraway places or taking time to rest and being in your room and meditating, that is where you'll find the more beneficial energies of Venus. But yes, Venus in the 12th house can dissolve certain relationships, money, maybe values. Venus is your ruler, so you might feel a little more tired when Venus is in your 12th house. And this can be an encouraging energy to take more time out, take some rest, and let Uranus do its thing with energetic shifts and downloads and some of the... So when energetic changes like that happen, you can need more rest for the reprogramming. It's at an energetic level, but it is tiring. It's updating our software, and you might just need some downtime for that. So if you feel called to that, create space for it. This is less of an ideal time to go out and spend money and upgrade beauty like things. This is more of a time for rest and retreat, and just see what Uranus has in store for you next. Thank you so much for being here, Taurus. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. It means so much. And if you would like a one-on-one reading with me or my PDF 2025 new moon and full moons for the whole year. Check out the links in the description below, and I'll see you next time. Hi Gemini. This is a third house full moon for you. So this has to do with close relatives, siblings, neighbors, short distance travel. Communication is the big one in this house. How are you communicating? How are you mentally managing your thoughts on a day-to-day basis? How are you expressing what goes on in your mind and getting that out into writing, language, whatever that may be? With Uranus in your 12th house squaring this moon, this is psychic downloads. This is unexpected connection to energetic forces and realms. This could come in your dreams. This could come while you're sleeping, while you're on a spiritual retreat, maybe when you're just away and resting. The 12th house is everything that is removed from society and involves sleeping, rest, our bedroom, far away overseas places. This is the house of hospitals and prisons. There's a sense of isolation in this house, but in an energetic spiritual way, there is a sense of connection to all, like the ocean, which is also covered in the 12th house, this vastness and interconnectedness of the water in the world. A very cool place to have Uranus, and this has been going on since 2018 for you. This full moon is just the next level of a longer journey that is wrapping up in 2026. There's going to be a bit of back and forth as Uranus goes into Gemini, your sign, and that could create more radical change. We'll talk about that in another video. For now, think about this one in the forms of your connection to energy and what that feels like for you. This is also where you have something radical and unique to offer the world. This is your unique expression and talents in some way. Maybe rest and retreat is a unique talent for you. With Geminis though, you have such a curious, expansive, busy mind sometimes that I think that this is going to be more about expanding the way that you interpret information in an energetic way and how that comes out in your language. Your 9th house is also activated in this full moon. You have the moon in Leo in your 3rd house, and you have the sun in Aquarius in your 9th house. This emphasis is really, what is the bigger picture all about? The 9th house is also foreign places, foreign lands. Both 9th and 12th can represent travel if that's happening for some Geminis. But on an energetic level, what it means is, how do our beliefs and views of the world expand and change? How do your beliefs and views of the world have an interconnectedness with everything and everyone, and also a unique, radical expression? This is a time where Geminis could step into teaching roles. You might have a lot to share and teach others when it comes to your perspectives, but also Aquarius related topics like science and internet and humanitarian work. If you are teaching or you have a teacher coming into your life, there is room for misunderstandings around the time of this full moon, but I think that because of Mercury's connection to the sun, but I think that if anything, a misunderstanding is likely an important piece of figuring out more information or something new or a new process of some sort. This is the type of energy where you do want to include other people's opinions as much as possible, gather knowledge, and make the best possible conclusion with shared knowledge that is your unique perception, your unique presentation and material, but you gained that information and that unique perspective from including a lot of information from different resources. That's a very Gemini thing anyway. So I see you stepping into this role quite easily. Career, friendships, networks, these things are still lit up. Mars in your second house of what you value is still active. I have more information on that in my Venus retrograde video and my North Node in Pisces video. Those will be linked in the description below. Check them out if you haven't seen them already. But just to give you a taste, Venus is going to bring either friends from the past, work friends from the past. Maybe you'll be questioning some of your status and professional public image when it comes to networks and what you value. There's a lot of passion in this area at the moment, but also a bit of swimming against the current with Mars in Cancer being retrograde, which is going to go direct at the end of the month. And then you're going to feel like your values and your assets and your self-worth are moving forward in an even stronger way after some of what you've been going through for the past couple of months. But this does tie in to relationships, friends, network connections, status, and image, and it's going to be unique for all of you. But this is fated change when it comes to your public image. This could be career as well. You could have career opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere that really shift and make a difference for you over the next year and a half. These topics could feel a little bit more diluted around the time of the full moon, but they are still going on, and I think they're still important to touch base so that you get a full picture of how the energy is showing up. Thank you so much for being here, Gemini. Let me know how things are going for you in the comments below. I love chatting with you there. Thank you for being here, watching, liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell. It really means so much. And if you would like a reading with me or a 2025 planner for your sign that is in a PDF form for all the new moons and full moons, check those in the description below. And I'll see you next time. Hi, Cancer. This is the second house full moon for you. So this is all about your assets, what you value, your self-worth, the money you invest, your possessions. There's going to be an element of a new level of reach with the 2nd and 8th house, which has to do with other people in the 8th house, your deep, intimate connections. This has to do with Scorpio-like topics, so your psyche, sudden reversals, transformations, purging, birth, death, metamorphosis. This is also your deep, intimate bonds. This has an opportunity to shift what you value in energetic exchanges. And in astrology, energetic exchanges are also currency. They're also money. This revolutionary change with Uranus is coming from your 11th house. This has to do with friendships, networks, your larger connections. So friendships that are more in acquaintance status or just members of your group. There are work networks can be covered here. This is a time when those groups and communities can bring revolutionary change to you, or you might be going through some unexpected changes with the people that you surround yourself with. Curveball energy, brings unexpected things that really shift your values and shift your intimate bonds, shift your psychological state. This is what can create sudden transformations in your 8th and 2nd house at this time. You're also going through a lot of personal changes, Cancer, with Mars in your sign doing a retrograde, as well as the North Node Neptune activation in your 9th house. The 9th house is your beliefs and your values, and the 1st house is who you are as a person. The energy being lit up here has the potential to deeply change your views on the world and the tools that you have as a person to share. There's an emotional quality of transformation when Mars is in Cancer, maybe even to do with intuition. But because I see this 8th house as a psychological house, you have the emotional activation with Mars in your sign of Cancer. Perspectives are changing. Jupiter's in your 12th house, expanding your connection to unseen realms, maybe creating more rest and time for meditation. The 9th house too could be about spiritual pilgrimage. So this looks like a lot of energetic shifts, a lot of psychological changes, and it's going to create space for a whole new life in other ways. When we change in these energetic houses of psychology and self and connection to spirit and our beliefs of spirituality, these have huge ripple effects in the rest of our lives. Jupiter is going to go into your sign in June, and that is going to create an expansion of self that you are preparing for right now. Take time to rest if you need it. These are big houses to have activated and big things to have change when it comes to your world views. Some of you could be teaching, some of you could have new teachers come into your life that are part of this transformation. If you are feeling the Mars effect, that can be a frustrating energy, that can feel like emotions are boiling over at times. Just keep in mind that it is part of this bigger process, and when the emotions boil up, that's the best opportunity to work with what has been undercover and understand the spiritual place for all of that and why we have the intensity of emotions that we do. You might need some space to do that. This is a good opportunity to take time away to build intimate bonds if that's part of something that feels right for your life. With Mercury in your 8th house, even though the qualities of Mercury are not super strong at the time of this full moon, this is still an activation where conversations about psychology and subconscious material can be the ingredients that create deeper bonds and bring two people closer together. This is also the house of taboo and things that we don't share with the rest of the world. This can be, when it comes to intimacy, I always talk about it as emotional bonding, but this can be sexual bonding in Scorpio. So just in case that's part of the journey that you're going through, that could really be the Jupiter in your 12th house of more time in the bedroom and more time away from the rest of the world. However this is showing up for you, Cancer, I hope you are having a wonderful time. Thank you for being here, liking, subscribing, commenting below. I really love connecting with you here. And if you would like a one-on-one reading with me or new moon and full moon PDF for your sign for all of 2025, check out the links in the description below. And I will see you next time. Hi, Leo. This is your full moon. You have had a lot of activation on the axis of self and partnership. This is a transformation of you, though, this time. This is a focus of you, and this could be discovering a new part of yourself that you didn't see before. Uranus is in your 10th house, and this could mean that the world is seeing you in a different way, that work is, and your reputation and your public image, that are all seeing you for your unique qualities. This is a time to take on something different and radical revolutionary change with your partnerships as well, and how you interact with other people. Because your 10th house is lit up, this could be unexpected changes with status with a partnership. This could be a work partner because the 10th house does have to do with career, and it could have more to do with how you balance your work relationships than intimate relationships, but both could apply. You continue to have a lot of activity in your 8th house. The North Node conjunct Neptune is here. It is getting a trine from Mars in your 12th house. So this is this is psychological work. This is behind the scenes, energetic, subconscious work. This is your spiritual connection to yourself and how you transform at an energetic level. All month, Neptune is in close conjunction with the North Node, and you could have faded transformations here, dissolving of an old psyche and making room for new one to come in with these eclipses. It is at the level of psyche and heart that we really bond deeply with another person. And because the 8th house is the house of bonding, it also is the house of resources, money you get from a significant partner. This has the potential to be quite profound. When Mars goes direct at the end of February, and then we're getting into the March eclipse, the hot spot of the March eclipse season, because you could feel it now in February. But that it's going to show you even more of the process of where you're headed when it comes to intimate bonds, might get money from other people, support, resources, who you are and who you are in partnership with another person. It is getting to the root of these topics that is going to help Jupiter that is currently in your 11th house, expanding your networks and friends, your community, your business connections. This is the internet and how you connect to the world. This could be groups that you are a part of. Take the time now to do any subconscious transformation that has been on your mind. It might just happen without any of your involvement, and this full moon could be a moment where it ignites and starts that process for a lot of Leos out there. But really, a full moon in your sign can have an effect in any part of your life. Ultimately, this is a boost and an illumination of who you are and what you bring to the world, and a lot of houses lit up about what you bring to the world in your connection with other people. We are still at the root of everything in our astrology charts, but when all the planets are in the top of your chart right now, Leo, this is about how you connect to the outside and what your process is there. When it comes to partnerships, you have Venus in the 9th house, and at a time like this, Venus can make you want to talk about more shared perspectives and visions of the world. Mars is connecting to Chiron in your 9th house, which has an element of flaring up subconscious old wounds. This can be uncomfortable, but it is ultimately, especially with Venus there, to bring more beauty to the pain, to perhaps bring this into the light when it comes to relationships, because Venus rules relationships, or money, because Venus rules money. But Mars in your 12th house retrograde is stirring up the deep psychological waters. This is definitely a time to shift perspective on a lot of those things, not to necessarily bury it down, though that might be a temptation with Mars in the 12th house. There might be some things you just don't see quite yet. And as we move into the spring, that's going to become more in the forefront of your awareness. But this moon certainly will bring something to light. Let me know how this is going for you in the comments below, Leo. Would love to hear from you there. Thank you for being here, watching, liking, subscribing. And if you would like a one-on-one meeting with me, check out the links in the description below. You'll also find a link there for my 2025 PDF new moon and full moon write-ups for each sign for the whole year. I'll see you next time. Hi Virgo. This is a 12th house full moon for you. So this has to do with overseas places that are removed from society. This could be a house of isolation. This could also be a house of connection to everything. Pisces rules the oceans, and that's the 12th house arena as well. So that is that interconnectedness theme again, similar to Aquarius, but different because Pisces is water and Aquarius is air, but otherwise they both symbolize this vast connectedness, oneness in a way, yet individual pieces with Aquarius. The 12th house and 6th house axis for you is work and rest, is health and retreat, is being part of society and service and healing and connection to spirit, connection to unseen realms, connection to a form of retreat for yourself. Uranus is squaring this moon from your 9th house, also foreign lands, foreign places, foreign people. This could be teachers, gurus, you could be teaching yourself. Something could come out of the blue that changes your work, maybe brings you overseas, maybe connects you to overseas clients, maybe an overseas teacher. There is more emphasis on partnership, people coming into your life that are fated, because the North Node is connecting to Neptune in your 7th house of partnerships. But then there's all this overseas and spiritual parts of your chart lit up, including work in the 6th house and service and health. a lot of different things going on all at once with this moon, Virgo. Jupiter in your 10th house is now direct and bringing more expansion to your public image, your status, your career. So I do think for a lot of Virgos, there's going to be unexpected career changes that change your perspective, help you grow and learn and expand your knowledge. Maybe your belief systems will completely change, and this could have to do with psychic attunement in a physical way. This could have to do with actual travel and overseas places. So many possibilities. You are also about to get the eclipses on your axis, Virgo. So this is creating big fated change overall. The opportunity here is really to roll with it, take advantage of opportunities that come your way, but things are just going to happen for you with energy like this. A Uranus square is sometimes rattling and uncomfortable, but a square ultimately, even though it can have an energy of friction to it, it really is just energy that comes on from outside of us, that we do not have to do anything to help take advantage of the opportunity or manifest or anything like that. It just shows up, and all of a sudden we're in a new place. As always, we will see how it all plays out, but I think that this one looks like it has some positive potential for Virgos. This is a good opportunity with a full moon in your 12th house to just take time to retreat, take time to meditate and take in your intuitive information that seems to be coming to you around this time. It might be something that you can put into work. So maybe you have some intuitive downloads that really change your reputation and your image and the work that you do. And maybe you can share that with work partnerships as well. Venus is in your 8th house. She's slowing down, but there is an energy of psychological transformation here, other people's resources, sudden reversals and transformations of your psyche, and maybe more intimate bonds in relationships. This is more of a side energy, but relevant. And if you would like more on what's going on with Venus, check out my Venus retrograde video in the description below. But with a lot of relationship stuff, again, with eclipses coming up in that part of your chart, Virgo, it is a great time to just let the tides roll in and see what the universe has in store for you. Roll with the waves as much as possible, and I hope you enjoy these transits, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here, liking, subscribing, chatting with me in the comments. It's really so much fun. If you would like to book a private reading, my link is in the description below. And I'm also selling 2025 PDF write-ups of all of the new moons and full moons for the year ahead. So check those out in the description, and I will see you next time. Hi, Libra. This is your 11th house. This is a full moon when it comes to networks, connections, community, your business connections. This is the internet, marketplaces, selling things. Your 11th house and 5th house are activated by the moon and the sun. Uranus is sending a square from your 8th house. This could be unexpected resources. This could be unexpected transformation when it comes to your psyche, deep, intimate bonds. This is a financial house, though, and has to do with other people's money. So something unexpected could come from an outside resource. The 8th house is designed to support us, to help us out. There could be a removal of blockages that has been preventing you from receiving when it comes to 8th house energy. It is the 8th house that we do receive from others, whether this be money or energy, or this is also a house of intimacy and sex included. Venus is in your partnership house, so you're getting more pleasure from other people in your life. This is a good time for enjoying your partnerships overall with Venus here. Venus in a fire sign like Aries, this isn't the spot that develops the main qualities of Venus, but this is the sign of partnerships for you. So there are Aries qualities that don't match with Venus, but this is still what you really love and appreciate, which is that fire and inspiration and newness and passion. Relationships can have more of that Aries quality, and there could be a lot of fire when it comes to this, to bonding with other people, when it comes to bonding with other people, and when it comes to the energy of this moon. Networks and how you have fun is likely to reach a new level. The fifth house is about children, but it's creative self-expression and fun and play and hobbies. Your creative projects are here too. So something could really take off and gain networks and community, especially if you have a creative project that you've been trying to get off the ground. Or if children, if you have them, that could be that their networks and community change and expand. With Uranus in your 8th house, there's a death and birth quality to it. This does not have to be in the physical world, but more at an energetic, transformational phase, that something can die off for something new to be born. Jupiter is direct now in your 9th house, which brings an expansion of luck when it comes to knowledge, how you view the world, your belief systems, education, teachers coming into your life, if that's the case for you. And you are working on the career and public image stuff with Mars retrograde in your 10th house. This retrograde process could have you digging up emotional frustrations when it comes to public image and being seen, and what matters to you there. What are you really passionate about with getting out there and your reputation, your status? Mars will go direct at the end of February. You will start to see more momentum in that part of your life, and any frustrations that you're facing right now with being in the public eye, you will start to feel better, and like some issues have resolved come the end of February. There are a lot of work houses activated for you. The 6th house is where the North Node and Neptune are conjoined. This has to do with fated work connections, or people that come into your day-to-day life that support your service, support the tasks that you do, support your health. And these are fated relationships, fated experiences. We are in the shadows of the eclipse officially, so this is a time where fated experiences are about to happen for the next year and a half when it comes to work and health and mundane related things for you. These eclipse times are going to heat up in March and heat up in September, so watch for that. But I'm considering this full moon to be an activation point that has some overlying themes and ties to what's going on in the nodal axis as well. Looks like a fun axis for you, Libra, to have some changes in community and creativity. Let me know how this is showing up for you in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here, liking, subscribing, watching. If you would like a one-on-one session with me, I will link that in the description below, as well as 2025 PDFs for each sign. They are the new and full moons all year long. You can get a sneak peek and look ahead at the year. I'll see you next time. Hi Scorpio. This is a 10th house full moon for you. So this is about career, reputation. This is a really big moment where a significant partner, or how you interact with partners in your life, can go through radical change that affects your home life and your career life in the 4th and 10th house, where the sun and moon currently are. This is hitting the angles for you with the 7th and 4th and 10th. So this has even more impact for all the fixed signs, Scorpio included. This is a moment where your reputation could change and your status, and in a radical, transformative way, with people that really match this radical energy that you're stepping into. This is your inner world, Scorpio. This is, Aquarius rules your 4th house, so you have a deep, unique network of energy inside of you that you do not always show the world. You show up more in your confident, self-assured Leo, ready to be seen, energy sometimes. Depends on everyone's personal chart, of course. Lots of Scorpios naturally will have a bit of a behind the scenes, wanting to peer out from the safe corner at everybody else. But this moon is calling you into visibility. This is really asking you to bring up that confidence that is deep inside of you, that you know more than some of the other signs how unique expression is so valuable. And a Scorpio just has the ability to pierce their laser eyes through and scan someone's soul and see what's going on the inside. But they forget sometimes that other signs don't have that capability. So in this moment, you really need to stand up and show them, Scorpio. Show them what you're made of. Show them what's on the inside. This is going to create a ripple effect. I would say a huge wave of change through you and partnerships and how you want that to be moving forward. But it starts with your self-expression in this particular scenario and energy. Jupiter is protecting your 8th house which is the Scorpio house. This is psyche, this is transformation, this is other people's resources, this is taboo topics that we hide from society. This protection in your 8th house has your psyche protected in a way. So I wanted to mention that and highlight this Jupiter in your 8th, because don't be afraid to share around this time. Jupiter has your back. Jupiter is going to be healing in that place, and that has to do with intimacy and connection and bonds, as well as support from other people. And complete transformation, sudden reversals, that's very possible. Your 5th house is still very activated with North Node and Neptune energy. This is energy where you have been focusing for quite some time, and creative self-expression has been going on and bubbling under the surface, or maybe showing itself. But this is a moment where it comes to the surface, all of it. This is a moment where you might just feel more compelled to be seen and show your work, show your creativity. It's going to feel more playful, and you're going to bring more faded connections that also encourage you to express creatively even more. The 5th house also has to do with children. So if that is part of your life, there are faded experiences that are coming along, and that to be determined as 2025 unfolds. And I look forward to chatting with you about it all along the way. The eclipse videos are just around the corner, and that's where you're going to be having this faded change happen in March. But it could certainly happen right now when it comes to 5th house topics of true love, creativity, children, and hobbies. For now, don't be afraid to be seen, Scorpio. It puts you in the limelight for this full moon. Enjoy. Thank you so much for being here, liking, subscribing, watching, and commenting. It is so much fun. If you would like a one-on-one reading or a PDF of all of the new moons and full moons for your sign, check out the links in the description below, and I will see you next time. Hi Sagittarius. This is a 9th house full moon for you. So this is all about your beliefs, your spiritual perspectives, your mindset, education, expanding your beliefs and thoughts about how the world works. This is a wonderful time to travel to foreign places, meet foreign people, anything that's different than the beliefs and values that you were raised with or born into. You want to expand your mind and take on more knowledge, and you're going to be feeling thirsty for more knowledge. Uranus in your 6th house is squaring the moon in your 9th and sun in your 3rd. This could have radical changes in your health, your routine. This could be a breakthrough of mind-body connection. This could be a breakthrough in getting work done and productivity. Anything that you do in a day-to-day life that fosters and serves your thoughts and your expression, your mental patterns. How do these all intertwine? Do your thoughts about the mundane things in your life, about your health, about your service to others, where do they lie as far as enjoyment and satisfaction with these things? That's just one way that you could connect the 3rd and 9th house of learning and education and that mental cerebral space to your 6th house of health and routine, but it can connect in any way. Maybe you're doing more traveling and your routines are going to change because of that. That's very likely. Home could be changing for Sagittarius out there. This is North Node and Neptune in your 4th house, so your inner world could be going through some faded rearranging. The family, your family of origin, the place that you grew up, your actual home. This could be faded energy of moving overseas or moving to another location and having more travel to do. The home stuff with the North Node and Neptune in your 4th house, this is more of a longer transit. The North Node and Neptune are active for most of February, and in March is when the eclipses truly start up. The energy could be felt already, so that's why I'm bringing this potential of moving homes or changing homes into this full moon reading. Just to remind you that if you don't feel it right now, the changes are going on until next spring and fall, so you have a lot of transition that's happening in home and career and your public image and what's on the inside and your family, your own family or the family and place that you were raised. You have protection and expansion in your partnerships, so you could have been noticing that since last June you've had an expansion of partnership and significant connections come into your life. Jupiter has been retrograde for several months, so it has just moved direct, and this is where you're going to start to feel the expansion again. If you would like more information, I do have a Jupiter direct video from last week that I'll link below. Mars is in your 8th house. This could be stormy when it comes to your psyche. This is purposeful though. This is creating waves of emotional change in your psyche to create transformation for deeper bonds. You might feel more passionate about deeper bonds, and you might have felt that temporarily they were taken away. Now you're going to start to feel, especially come the end of February, that things are clicking into place, and what you wanted to see all along with your psychological transformation and your deepening of connection with others is ready to unfold. For this moon, Sag, stay focused on what you believe in. That's what matters most. It's what you believe and how you express that to other people that is really lit up and is going to help you with all of the other transitions that are coming for 2025. Thank you so much for being here, watching, liking, subscribing. It really means so much. And chatting with you in the comments below, my absolute favorite. Let me know how things are going for you. I also have a link for my one-on-one readings as well as PDFs for new and full moons for all of 2025. I will link those in the description below. I'll see you next time.